Hello everybody, this is Cybersurgeon, and welcome to the new Let's Play Beginner's Guide thingy for Final Fantasy XIV. This is going to be taking place in patch 4.1, and I will go ahead and update the title to match as we go along. Just that way, the data presented here, in case it does become inaccurate later, will at least kind of make sense as to why. But as you can see, I am not right at the start. The point of this is going to be a beginner's guide, and I recorded about 20 minutes of your first, 20 minutes footage with NVIDIA Shadowplay, and when I went back and rewatched the video, it kind of crapped out about 8 minutes in. I don't really know why, so I switched back to OBS. So I'm going to kind of retouch on those things real quick, and then we'll go and do some combat, and I'll show that part of it. This will be entirely done with the mouse and keyboard control configuration. You can play Final Fantasy XIV with a controller either on your PS4 or with a PS4 controller on your PC, but that method of play always felt a little weird to me, so I play mouse and keyboard even when I'm playing on my PS4, so which you can also do, by the way, in case anyone was curious. So we're just gonna kind of not deal with the controller controls. I know there's a lot of people who find it really comfortable, and all power to them, but I'm not one of those people. So when you first load in, I am playing as an archer, and if you are playing as an archer, a lancer, or a conjurer, you will start in Gridania, which is the city that we're going to be starting with. I'm going to be trying to focus this to where the kind of skills transfer no matter which class you start with. And oh hey, look, she's hugging me. Cool. That was nice. Alright, anyway. Bye. That was cool. Anyway, you'll get a quest to speak to a gentleman right in front of you whenever you spawn in. That will take you to the Adventurers Guild. The Adventurers Guild is questionably important as the game goes on. It starts out being kind of important, and then as the game goes on, it kind of varies in importance. But you'll have your Canopy Proprietor. She will give you a quest. Basically, just a breadcrumb main scenario quest that you just want to keep track of that will have you run around and go to the Aetheryte Crystal and the markets. And we'll go ahead and just touch bases in each one of those areas because I really want to make sure that the new player experience, you understand what's going on as you're trying to start up. So you will come here and you'll turn in a main scenario quest. You can tell main scenario quests by this little flaming outline. Usually they'll be gold. This one is red because it requires, if you mouse over the quest on your minimap, it requires a level 4 character. And if you look down at the bottom of the screen, we are very clearly not level 4. So we will have to do a couple quests in order to get there. Also in the Adventurers Guild is a Leave meet. We will go over leaves later as we unlock them. There's an inn, which we will go over the room when we unlock it, as well as a mender to repair equipment, which we will probably kind of skip over like we're doing right now. One thing as you move around, if you look right here, there's a sprint button. Feel free to bind that however you would like, and make sure that your binding is something you can reach often, because there is absolutely no reason to not be sprinting if it's off cooldown and you do not have a mount. There used to be a cost. There's no longer a cost, so sprint to your heart's content, except for it's unavailable in PvP. Right here is the Aetheryte Crystal. Every city in the game, both major and minor, has a Aetheryte Crystal. Well, I know, actually no, there's a couple that don't have them. But anyway, these are where you use the teleport system. This is the fast travel system in the game. This replaces your flight paths for games like WoW, or your fast travel that you would do via the map with Skyrim. It actually works very similar to the way it worked in Skyrim, as an example. If you look down at your system menu over here in the corner, there's a travel button. Click that, you will get teleport and return. Right now we only have return because we only have one major crystal and we have nowhere else to teleport to. As you explore the town, we'll run over to the Archers Guild, which would have been the next step if we were doing this quest. As you explore the town, you will find smaller crystals. I pressed M to bring up the map in order to do this. A lot of the key bindings at default are going to be similar to the first couple letters in the word. So M for map. If I get to this smaller crystal and attune to it, so basically right-clicking it, it will add it to the list of locations I can teleport around inside Gridania. And a really handy thing to get in every major city is every single aetheryte crystal so that you can teleport around the town. As I come into the Archers Guild, I get an example of showing off a couple features. So right here, and I will go back over to it, if this is your first time visiting it as an archer, there will be a exclamation point with a blue background and a plus sign. That is Square Enix's symbol for showing a piece of content you can unlock. A similar symbol would be this one right here for unlocking the Carpenter's Guild. It's red because we cannot currently unlock it, but if we could, it would be blue. This regular symbol right here with a gold outline and a regular exclamation point is a side quest. We are going to go ahead and grab this one because we are already going to have to do a quest for the Archers Guild, which means we're going to do a thing and come back here. So there's no reason to not grab this quest since we would eventually, in theory, have to come back here, except for this one's going to tell us to go run somewhere. I do apologize if my camera kind of swings around like a crazy person. I need to rebind my strafe and unbind my ability to turn. That is my usual control scheme. I need to rebind strafe from Q and E to A and D because I usually turn with my mouse and use A and D to strafe side to side. I have not done that because my key bindings are purely vanilla right now, and so if my camera swings around, that's why. I'm trying to strafe and forgetting that I can't do it with A and D. So right here, you'll receive a quest to come talk to this guy, again as part of the main story quest, and when you talk to this guy, you'll end up having to go back to the Adventurers Guild to complete that quest. We're going to go ahead and turn this one in just to kind of get a little bit of XP since we are still a few levels short. As you explore the town, feel free to grab any quests that you feel like you might want to do. So we'll go ahead and we will grab quests as we walk around, but any quest that is not going to be super convenient to do, that is a side quest, we'll just ignore. If we're not already going to go around there trying to collect, say, the aetheryte crystals or anything along those nature, which is why we're running a little further to the north. If we look at the map, there's an aetheryte crystal up here by the Lancers Guild. Any quest that's going to be out of the way, we're not going to bother, because as you're trying to level your first character or your first class on any other character, because a single character can play absolutely everything in the game. As you're doing your first quest, like first playthrough though, and you have the main story to do, just do the main story. That's all you need to do. I mean, with a little bit of an exception, because I'm not level 4 yet. But once the main story gets going, it provides so much experience from 1 to 60 that you will find yourself needing to do very little additional content outside of unlocking features, doing said features for the first time for first-time completion bonuses, and the main story quest. And we will kind of address each one of those things as they come. Right now, we're just gonna kind of complete this little side quest. And then we will go out and do some combat. Kill some stuff. You know, have some fun. Do archer things. It's gonna make me run all the way back up here. So the purpose of these videos, purpose of this guide, is gonna be to try to kind of cut between the major moments. I'm gonna skip some of the leveling when it's just go level and do this thing. If anything, I might do like a highlight video or something. You know, take clips of a new feature in case I forget that it's about to come up. I don't want to skip past any features for new players, because that kind of defeats the whole purpose. We did just level up with that side quest, and as you can see, we got a new ability. It was automatically applied to our hotbar, and it'll do that up until you run out of hotbar spots for it to automatically put it on. You can rebind and change all this stuff up later, and I'll do that a little later when I'm getting more into a technical video, but I feel like that kind of stuff can wait until you have enough abilities for it to matter. Right now we have 2 abilities, 1 and 2. I don't see any possible reason why not to bind them to 1 and 2, or to whatever your default, keys are going to be for the controller. There's not... I mean, we're not raiding with 2 abilities, so it doesn't really matter that we only have the 2. We'll go ahead and grab this one on our way out. Whenever you have a quest, if you don't know particularly where to go, so for example right now, we have a main story quest that we can't do. So up here where it tells us the next main scenario quest, if we click it, it'll take us to the Adventurers Guild for that level 4 quest, but we can't do it, so it's not super helpful. Well, we'll go back to the Archers Guild after we do this. However, if you look at your quest list and you click on one of the quests, you can see directly on the map where exactly you need to go for it. And I already know, by clicking all of these in my last set of footage, that we just need to go out the Central Shroud right here in order to try to kill some funguars, some squirrels, and some ladybugs, because we're a big, powerful archer that needs to shoot squirrels and ladybugs. And we will go ahead and complete this quest. So we're about to enter combat. Anything that you see right here with a yellow name and this little blue icon, that's a passive enemy. They're not going to attack you unless you attack them first. And right now we're just going to basically spam heavy shot over and over and over just to try to kind of get these kills done as fast as possible. I think I just shot 2 different squirrels. Oh no. We'll use straight shot. So as you can see, when I just moused over straight shot, I don't play an archer on my main character, so some of this is also going to be me learning a little bit about an archer. But when we use straight shot, if you look right here, it says it has an additional effect. That additional effect is that it's going to increase our critical hit rate by 10%. So that means right now we just want to maintain this buff, and pretty much every class is going to have some kind of buff maintenance to deal with. Especially early on, some classes, or almost every class, the play style adapts and changes as you gain more abilities. Certain things that you prioritized early no longer get prioritized, things like that. We'll go over fates later in case anyone saw that. We'll go over fates later when we're actually going to participate in one, but right now we're not going to. Just lost track of what I was talking about. It's part of the problem with trying to do this a little freehand. But yeah, so we're going to kind of maintain this buff, and then the rest of the time we're just going to spam heavy shot. If you see right here, it's got a potency of 150. The reason we're spamming heavy shot over straight shot, while it gives us that buff, has a potency of only 140. And the potency isn't going to tell you the direct amount of damage that your ability is going to do, or the amount that your certain ability is going to heal, but what it does is it basically tells you the multiplier that it's going to receive. So if you were to imagine one of them is going to be your attack power times 1.5, and then the other one is going to be your attack to power times 1.4, that makes that 10 potency difference seem a lot more important. Because there's, that 10 potency when multiplied amongst your various stats as you level up and everything is going to be a wider and wider gap. So you would always want to be using, if you're just spamming an ability, basically every class is going to be geared towards spamming an ability with a high potency. And that's efficient. I guess that's getting a little more complicated. I'm gonna leave that topic alone for right now. Whatever your ability that has the highest potency, just basically spam that. That's all you really need to do whenever you're in combat. Now that we've completed that mission, we have these 2 green check marks. We're gonna go ahead and run back to the Archers Guild. Really hope there's not I'm paranoid now that there's a feature that I went over in my initial attempt on this that I'm forgetting about now. But this also, in theory, will take us to level 4. I'm going to get some shards and some potions here. We will go over using items a little later. Let's see. Hopefully... Oh, no. I don't think this is going to give us enough experience to hit level 4. We might have to go back outside. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna basically be. Yeah, this only gave 100 XP, but it gave us the hunting log. Okay, perfect. All right, we have the hunting log. Unfortunately, we are also out of time for this episode. So on the next episode, we will go ahead and go over the hunting log. This one, I know a lot of it was devoted to talking about why I'm ending up having to redo this. But I won't. Nope. Before we leave, I will go ahead and give a quick rundown of the hunting log. When you press H for hunting log, you can see right here, you have a list of targets. Essentially, you can view this as a hit list or a hunt. I guess it was a hunting log. I don't know. I don't know why you would need to view it as anything. We're hunting things, and as you complete them, you'll see you get increasing XP rewards. This is a very good method of gaining any lacking XP, as well as just getting some extra XP as you wander the world. If we complete all 10, we also get a nice chunk of experience for the completion bonus as well. And since the experience scales up for each mob as you go in higher level, it's basically always relevant until you hit level 50 and it stops. There is no hunting log for the expansion content for some reason, but it is very nice for leveling from 1 to 50. So we will go ahead and just run outside really quick to show how exactly you can tell without having to bring up the hunting log if something you're looking at is in it. There's a nice little icon that will appear and disappear as you both have it on your hunting log, and then once you've completed it, the icon will go away, so you know you don't need to specifically hunt that particular enemy anymore. Let's see. Right here. So as you can see, this little yellow coin looking icon, that is your hunting log icon. That's just showing that this is a target for our hunting log. And as you notice, I'm still attacking the same thing that these other players are attacking. You do not lose XP for attacking other people's targets. The game is designed around camaraderie. The game is designed, that's why everyone is on the same faction. That's why when you picked your character creation, you should have noticed that you weren't selecting a faction. You were just simply creating your person and entering the world. And that's because everyone in Final Fantasy is on the same side. We are all fighting the bad guys, and we are all being the good guys. So there's no reason to not help other players if you happen to have the same objective, and there's no reason to ever get upset if another player has the same objective as you and happens to assist you in killing your targets. The only possible scenario where you would be annoyed by another player killing stuff is in a hunt situation. That occurs very late in the game, and since it's just a one specific target that you want, that you're trying to kill, obviously, then it becomes a problem if someone else killed it first and you didn't get to hit it, because you don't get credit for hunting something just for showing up and looking at its corpse. So we're going to go ahead and complete the first 3 parts of the hunting log. If you can look down here in the log, as we do things, as we kill things, we can see a running count of how many we have left. So we have 1 left to kill, and this will definitely hit us to level 4, so we can also go ahead and just start the next main scenario quest. While I said I'm going to skip plenty of the leveling for these first couple videos, I will be including it just because it's very early in and new features will be coming at you real quick. At level 4, we just unlocked a new ability. This, if you notice, this is a weapon skill. This is an ability. I'll go into that more on the next episode. I'm trying not to make this one last 45 minutes. So with that nature, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and cut myself off. It's 2 a.m. at the bar. Don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. So we're going to go ahead and end the episode. Thank you very much for sticking around and watching. I know this one was a little rambly. I will try, I promise, to be a little more focused in the later episodes. Thank you for sticking around. If you have any particular features you would like to see, if there's any feature that I missed and you wanted to have explained, please let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the episode, if you found it helpful at all, please like it. It really does help me out a lot because it lets me know whether or not this video is actually helpful. And make sure to subscribe if you haven't to come check it out. I don't know a schedule of any kind yet, so just kind of stay tuned. Promise there'll be more videos, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for sticking around. Bye.